Today I'm so excited to be interviewing a man who is known for crushing cars to the most compactnicity possible. I'm talking to world famous monster truck driver Clint Buckley. Clint, how are you, sir?
Thank you so much for having me on the program today, Aaron. I'm so happy to be here.
Well, I'm happy to have you. I'm excited because last week I said at the end of my program, I'm going to interview a monster truck driver, and people didn't believe me. Listen, I am going to come through on something that I say I'm going to do.
Well, Aaron, it's very important to keep your promises. That's something that my daddy told me ever since I was born. I remember him telling me, boy, son, if you're going to make a promise, you better keep it.
Well, that's great advice. I'm so happy to have you on the program, Clint.
Well, thank you for having me, Aaron.
Now, Clint, can you tell me just a little bit about how you got into monster truck driving? Because I think some of us, we look at certain careers and we say, there's no way that I could ever do something like that. Nobody is actually a monster truck driver in real life.
Sure, Aaron, sure. So, this is the way it happened, really. My daddy was a World War II pilot. He fought in the European theater. He tried to kill Hitler, but it didn't really work out. So my daddy was my hero. And I said, well, when I grow up, I'm going to get good grades, and I'm going to get in the military, and I am going to try to be a pilot just like my daddy.
You wanted to be just like your dad.
That's right. My daddy was my hero. He fought in World War II, and then he came home, and he opened up a refrigerator shop.
A refrigerator shop?
He sold refrigerators to people who couldn't keep their food cold by themselves. So my daddy was my hero, and I decided that I was going to go out and try to be a World War II pilot just like my daddy. But what I found out was that things were a little bit different by the time that I went to the Air Force pilot recruiting program, and I said, hi, sir, officer, I would like to be a pilot, please. And the officer looked me in the face and he said, son, you're too fat. You never fit in these planes. And I was so supremely offended, and I said, sir, I am not fat, I am big boned. And he said, well, sir, listen, we have the finest technology in all of the world. Our American aircraft are the strongest, they're the fastest, they're the most brutal killing machine aircraft in the whole world, but son, you are too fat for one of them to lift you up off the ground. So I said, okay. I punched him straight across the face, and then I ended up in front of a judge, and the judge told me, he said, son, you got two options. Normally in a case like this, we would give you the option to go to prison for 5 years for punching a military guy, or you could join the military. But son, you're too fat to join the military. So I'm giving you another option. The judge owned a monster truck. You see, the judge always hoped that he could have a son that would drive his monster truck, and that would make him proud, earn him a little side money. But the judge never had a son. He tried and tried. Him and his wife tried for years and years, and they had 8 daughters, but no sons, no son to drive the monster truck. So he said, son, since you're too fat to join the military, I believe I could make a wide enough seat in a monster truck. I mean, geez, they are so big anyway, right? I will make an extra seat for you to fit into my monster truck, and if you keep winning, boy, I'll give you your freedom. So I said, okay, that sounds good. I'll do that.
So the judge actually gave you the option to either drive his monster truck or go to prison for 5 years?
It was a hard, difficult choice to make because I had a lot of friends who were in prison, and so I had to give them up in order to pursue this monster trucking thing, and I'd never even seen a monster truck in my life. So when I said yes, I thought that I was stepping into some sort of haunted automobile, and it was very scary for me. I said, you know what? I'm gonna try it out. It sounds fun, and so I did, and I've been loving it ever since.
That's amazing, man. I'm so glad to hear that story. Now, tell our audience, in case they're not into monster trucks, what's the deal with your truck?
Well, I'll be happy to tell you. So I am the driver. My name's Clint Buckley. I'm the driver of the Dream Smasher, and we have crushed over 35 million cars in a short career of 10 years driving monster trucks. And really, I do this. Some people do it for the fame. Some people do it for the fortune. I do it because I had to get out of prison somehow, but I also do it as a public service. Did you know, Aaron, there are millions of cars left undriven in this country that need smashing, and we don't have enough facilities to smash these cars. So I'm doing the general public. Actually, Donald Trump called me. He said, Clint, we got too many cars. We're tired of these cars not being smashed. Clint, we need these cars smashed. I can't do it without you. I want to make cars smashed again so we can make room for new cars. But we can't do it unless you start smashing them with your Dream Smasher, Clint. And so I said, Mr. President, I'll do it. I'll step in. So I'm doing this for my country now. I'm doing it for this country. I'm doing it for my wife, my kids.
Oh, I didn't know you had a wife and kids.
Yeah, I do, Aaron. I got 3 kids, Jimmy, Smitty, and Slunk.
Slunk?
That's a funny story, actually. I was out driving my monster truck when my wife called me. She said, I'm having a baby. I said, you're having a baby right now? I'm driving my monster truck. She said, yeah, I'm having a baby. I said, right now? Because I didn't even know you was pregnant. She said, yeah, well, yeah, I am. So what's the name you want to call it? And see, I tried to say Smitty too, but we got mixed up in the signals, and she wrote down the wrong name. And that's the thing with cell phones these days. You can never get a good signal on them. And he ended up with the name Slunk. So it's all right, though. We call him Slunky for short.
That's an interesting name, but, hey, to each his own, right?
That's right, Aaron. And I would just like to say thank you so much for having me on your program. Most people don't even want to care about interviewing monster truck drivers. They think we're just beer-swilling, truck-jumping junkies trying to smash cars for fun and money, but I'm doing this for the American people.
Well, that's a strange way to look at it. I'll be honest, but I appreciate your honesty, and I appreciate the service that your father did for this country, and I appreciate the fact that, you have taken this and turned it into a service for our country. That's really awesome.
Well, Aaron, I just want you to know one thing. Yes, I'm doing this for Donald Trump. Yes, I'm doing this for the United States of America, but also I'm doing it because I still have that dream of being a pilot. And every time I go and take a jump, and I'm jumping over cars, maybe I'm jumping over buses, it doesn't matter. I'm really just trying to make it into the sky. And my hope is that one day I'll be jumping a row of 36 school buses that are no longer in commission. And I just hope that somehow my monster truck will never come down and it will go up into the clouds. And then I would land it at the Tokyo airport, and I could get out of my truck and I'd say, wow, I just flew across an entire ocean in this truck, but I always believed it could happen. And then I'll get out, and I'm going to go down to the place where my daddy dropped the bomb in World War II in Japan, and I'll say, thank you, Daddy. I love you, Daddy. Thank you for all you did for me. I just wanted to be like you, Daddy. Daddy, I just wanted to be like you. That's why I became a monster truck driver, Daddy, because I wanted to be a pilot, but the judge told me that I was too fat. So I love you, Daddy, and I'm sorry that I was always fat, and you always had a fat son. And when you told your co-worker, your pilot guys that you were friends with, you told them, hey, I gotta go home to my wife and my fat son. I'm sorry that you had to say that, and I just hope that you love me now, Daddy.
Well, Clint, I don't know what to say, but I'm so touched that you came on the program today. Thank you so much. Is there any parting words that you have for our audience who's listening?
Yeah, I'd just like to say, I don't care how fat you are. You could be a monster truck driver or an accountant or pretty much anything except for a pilot. So follow your dreams, unless your dreams include flying an aircraft, because you're too fat for that.
Thank you so much for your wonderful advice. Back to you in the studio, Aaron.